what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here with Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes. How's it going? Hey, one of the most frequently asked questions I get all the time, and video requests I get, is a video about comping. This always makes me feel great. Number one, because I feel that most people are interested, especially guitar players, would be more interested in solo lines. The subtle art of comping is something that's a lifelong pursuit, even more so than soloing. Because you always change how you comp for people. It's very personal. So check it out. A couple of things that I think are really helpful when you're comping. Number one is you have to really have mastered the form. If you have a hard time accompanying somebody, chances are maybe you need some help with your forms, okay? If you have a hard time following forms and you're buried in the book, there's no way you can really listen to the other person as you should. But if you're cool with your forms, right, you want to start to think of yourself when you're accompanying somebody as like a point guard. You know, you're trying to set up the other person. You don't want to get in their way. You don't want to pass them a musical idea and then be like doing everything that they're doing. Maybe like, you know, a lot of accompanists like to play back what a solo plays. I like to give a soloist, so knowing the form and giving space. Well, how can we give space? Well, there's two ways. Number one is not by playing a lot. The second way is by playing bigger voicings with less chords, less notes in the chords. You'll notice that after I played my intro, once I got to that first B flat chord, I kind of played this. And I played a B flat note in the root, and I played a D up top, right? Almost like a tenth, really. You have a root and then a third way on top. But instead of the third being here and close to the root, it's far away. And I did it twice, so I gave it some nice room. So right away, you're giving a soloist and you're establishing kind of like where the tone is, where you are. So you're playing these wide intervals. And then when I get to my next chord, you'll notice I played another double stop, but the intervals were close together. Okay, that's a nice little color change too. You kind of play a blues line here. When I got to this A flat, I kind of played a sus chord. That definitely cuts the tension vibe on the dominant chord. Then I resolved it, and then I kind of got to my G here. And then when I got to this C, you have two bars of that C. When I'm playing through this tune, and when I learned this tune, which is There Is No Greater Love, I always sort of had a hard time keeping it going for those two bars over this C. And a lot of the times I was playing these big chunky chords. I'm not going to be able to do much for a soloist by playing big chunky chords like this, other than, you know, if you're just playing on one, that's cool. So if I'm going to hang out here for a couple bars, you know, it can be very difficult to comp. So what I ended up doing is I played just the tritone, the guide tones in there, the B flat and the E natural, in a bunch of different positions. Again, I don't want to play big chunks of chords all the time, and I want to use different areas of my guitar too. When you're playing duo or by yourself and you're learning to comp for yourself, you know, you have to play the space. You get a chance to use the space a lot more the less people that you're playing with. So that's a really cool spatial thing to do. And then at the very end, I played my Philly Philly turnaround, just to give me some more motion, right, going back into the A. That's kind of how I'm marking the form, much like a drummer would. So there's a couple different things that you can do to help out your comps. Number one, get your forms together. Number two, don't play chunky chords all the time. You know, you can get a lot together from just playing like roots and thirds. Making these dominant chords a suspended chord or some kind of alteration when it suits it musically. And then you throw in some of your own little chord stuff. Again, I like to do that 2-5, chromatic 2-5 a lot. And I play this over dominant chords, that kind of line. Very useful to do. Really breaks it up if you're playing, again, those, wider double stops and then the ones that are closer together. It's just a really cool color change that would immediately impact your comping. So, all right, jazz guitar friends, those are some tips that I think you can use. I hope you dig it. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe button, and share. I appreciate all the amazing support. Keep swinging. Bebop!